afternoon. It's great to be back with you with another industry leader, somebody we can just spend 15 minutes with to get a sense of what makes them tick, what makes their business tick, what their definition of mission and purpose is. So let me introduce, without any further ado, Elie Younes, who is Executive Vice President and Global Chief Development Officer for the Radisson Hotel Group. So please give Elie a very warm welcome. Yeah, you can even welcome yourself. Why not?
Why not?
Okay, so let's not get stuck on jargon, Elie. You know, these phrases that not just in the hospitality business, but across business, these phrases come out leading with purpose. In a way, your purpose is simple. It's to make a profit for your owners. But how would you define leading with purpose?
I think it's when you put your vision and your beliefs into action. It's as simple as that. And give it a sense of perspective and meaning in terms of what you're doing. I think what it shouldn't have is poetry or spirituality. And it has to be concrete and executional. And I try and explain that in a minute or two. So our vision as a company, just to make it a bit more concrete, is to be a top 3 company in the world for the guest of mind, for the guest, for the owner, and for the employee. What does that mean is whenever somebody thinks about visiting a hotel or somebody thinks about investing in a hotel or working in a hotel company, we'd like them to think of us. This is our vision.
And when you say top 3, do you mean in pure scale or in terms of judgment of quality?
Top of mind.
Yeah.
So the thought.
Right.
So this is where it's not that measured, but we'd like people to think of us when they want to invest.
It's sort of a gut feeling that you're in the top 3.
A little bit of that.
Yeah.
But then that's not enough, because that can be as good as doing a yoga lesson if you don't execute it, if it's not more concrete. So then what does that mean for us? Eventually, it means that we have 2 customers, the guest and the owner. And everything that we do has to be relevant to these guys, be it investing in an asset or investing in a system or defining your brand standards. We have to stop and ask the question, is this relevant to my customers? And then it leads to your behavior across the organization and across people. So everything that we do eventually must be relevant to these guys, and it kind of shapes your behavior and your attitude when you do business.
And we're having this conversation in the context of sustainability, and it's a big word, and again, it probably gets overused. But do you believe the customer now demands to know about your commitment to sustainability?
Yes, I think the customer and the owner as well. It depends on which part of the world. I would say the customer almost everywhere is, I wouldn't say measuring, but somehow keeping an eye and discreetly judging us and our behavior vis-a-vis sustainability. But equally, there are a lot of institutional investors out there, specifically in mature markets like Germany or deep European markets, where the owner has a condition to do business with us only if we tick the boxes when it comes to sustainability, and we have to define what we're doing there, okay, net zero and all of these things that most of you have heard a zillion times, but also put our money into it. I mean, we have around 50 to 70 million euros, maybe not a lot, but for us, at least quantified, already allocated to invest in that area for the next 5 years.
And how many of the markets you're in are you independently audited on what you say you are doing and are gonna do? You know, because it's one thing you just internally committing to do it. It's another thing when there are outside independent analysts and auditors looking at what you've delivered.
I mean, if you look at the world today, there is no watchdog for sustainability universally around who sits and say, I'm the watchdog now for sustainability. But we do have a lot of third-party companies, accreditors, Edge and Green and what have you, who would come and kind of stamp and certify, let's say, our hotels when it comes to sustainability. Is this enough? I don't know, but these are the available raters, let's say, today for sustainability. I don't see any universal watchdog on that as of today.
Is there a difference in terms of what niche in the marketplace your brands are, in terms of how much you play on this sort of commitment to sustainability? Because I personally, when I stay in Radisson, they're usually sort of mid-market, thanks to the BBC budget, they're usually mid-market hotels, not luxury. So is it more important to message this to the luxury traveler, or is it just as important in mid-market? How does it work?
Well, I think, let me explain our brand architecture for a second, because there may be a misunderstanding here or misperception, which is fine and fair, but it's critical to explain that. We have more or less 10 brands as a company, simple brands, simplified
That's not, you know,
architecture,
we
not
had the
40.
CEO of Accor here earlier, he had 47 brands. So what's wrong with you?
We're not that smart. We try to simplify life. I think there isn't 47 customers to go to hotels. I think there is 5 or 7 in our humble view. So, but we trade in luxury with Radisson collection. We have 50, 60 luxury hotels, entry-level luxury, lifestyle, Radisson Red, Radisson Blue, our upper upscale brand, which is the largest upper upscale brand in Europe, actually, for more than 12 years now. Then Radisson, our mainstream brand, which is the mid-scale brand or the upscale brand that you refer to.
Well, I have stayed in, I always associated Blue with sort of mid to upscale, but anyway, you position it the way you want, yeah.
So the origins of the company, I think, also are relevant. Sorry, so we were talking about this brand architecture, which is simplified to the guest and to the owner. But relating that to sustainability, I don't think any of our brands independently relates to sustainability. The company spirit relates to sustainability. We are a company with a lot of heritage, and I explain what I mean by that. We started as a Scandinavian company, and then we had an American history with our association with the Carlson family, and now we have a Chinese ownership.
Well, I was just looking at the recent record. You've actually been sold on. You had one Chinese owner, and then I think in 2018 you were sold on to another Chinese over. Yeah. And I'm just wondering whether that has changed the definition of mission and changed the way the company works.
No, it gave opportunities, I think, than changed anything, because we're grateful. I mean, sorry, I think we need to close the loop on sustainability. Our origins in Scandinavia, I think, is what builds our sustainability thinking and philosophy, because Scandinavia is known for this sustainability philosophical approach, and we are from Scandinavia, and we've been trading there for years and years, and this is how it's somehow ingrained in our DNA. Going forward to your questions on the China, I think the only thing that it did to us is more opportunities more than anything else, because we part now of the second largest hotel company in the world, and as we integrate our systems together now, we move to ability, or our capability to access customers multiplies by 10, because Jing Zheng, our Chinese owners, have 12,000 hotels in China.
I mean, this is massive.
150 million Chinese customers.
Because Sébastien Bazin, the CEO, I'm sure you know him, of Accor, was saying, you know, we aim to be number one, but there's no way we're going to be number one, first of all, in North America, and number 2 in China, because those markets are just not, they are so embedded in their own culture, we're not going to ever get to number 1. But it sounds like you at Radisson, thanks to this holding company, the Chinese element of your ownership, you have a window there.
We have a window there, but we don't have the ambition to be number 1, frankly speaking, and we say that publicly. We're not shy of saying it. Our ambition is to be top 3 of mind to the guest, to the owner, and to the employee.
Okay, so you're not necessarily going to fully exploit then the opportunities that Chinese ownership might have.
We're going to exploit it to the maximum, but that doesn't mean our ambition is to be number 1. We're going to exploit it. We're going to fill out our hotels. But what great looks like for us is not necessarily run across the street and say we're number 1. We want to be relevant to our guests, to our owners, and to our employees, and have this top 3 of mind. Maybe one day we are number 1 in size, but even if we are number 1 in size, we want to be top 3 of mind to the guest, to the owner.
Yeah, well, I'm getting the feeling that really is your mantra, your mission. Just tell me a little bit, because our audience will be very interested in it, your perception of what is happening in the Mideast region, in the GCC region, and the amount of focus and potential and opportunity you see in this region.
I travel between 175 and 250 days a year. I'm sure you do the same. Maybe.
Well, no, your poor family, that's a lot.
And but I enjoy it. I enjoy it, but that's not the point. The point is that There are only 2 places in the world today that I feel excited when I visit. The first one is India. I feel India today is on a rocket booster economically. It probably has the best fundamentals in the world for hotels today, in my view, and for scale and what have you. And the second place is here. Every time I come here, I somehow feel like anything is possible, and everything is possible. There is no other place in the world that I visit that gives me that feeling of sky is the limit. So the opportunity is sky is the limit, and it's been proved and again and again and again over the years, specifically in a place like Dubai, and now certainly in a place like Saudi Arabia. The challenge is, how do you keep doing that again and again and again?
And the challenge also is to do it in a way that is demonstrably sustainable. You know, this region, with its background, its wealth that's derived from fossil fuels, it really is now going to be very scrutinized. So you guys, as you roll out your expansion plans in this region, you need to be absolutely committed to that sustainability agenda.
I agree with that.
And you're smiling. Can you say hand on heart that you're delivering?
I think we're not. I think we have the ambition to deliver. We are delivering. We are starting to deliver today. Are we there today? Absolutely not. So I think that we have a journey to go through. That's 10, 15, 20 years. We're going to get there. We are not. We are delivering today, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
It is not enough. We have to do more.
Elie?
Not we. We.
We all.
Yeah.
Yes. Everybody in the room is.
Including you.
I'm not walking away from the responsibility of me as a consumer, believe me. Elie, it's been terrific to meet you and to talk to you.
Same here.
Thank you very much indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, give Elie a very warm hand. Thank you, Elie.
Thank you.